A new dawn rises over the desert, a powerful symbol of change, both in the world's landscape and in global politics. Trump's pivot to the Gulf isn't just a political move. It's a calculated shift that could reshape alliances and redraw the balance of power in the Middle East. The Middle East has long been a chessboard of shifting alliances and ever-changing power dynamics. For decades, the region has been a stage for complex maneuvers, where every move is strategically designed to preserve a fragile equilibrium. In May 2025, former President Donald Trump, now back in the Oval Office, made a bold move that reverberated throughout the region. His return to power reignited a sharp focus on the Middle East, a region he's always seen as both a land of opportunity and a crucible of challenges. He embarked on a high-stakes tour of the Middle East, with stops in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. These visits weren't mere formalities. They were calculated moves designed to strengthen alliances and secure both economic and political leverage, while notably excluding Israel from his itinerary. This omission was no accident. It was a deliberate choice, signaling a clear shift in U.S. foreign policy priorities. This deliberate omission marked a sharp break from traditional U.S. foreign policy in the region, signaling a possible recalibration of American priorities. It indicated a shift away from the long-standing emphasis on Israel and toward a deeper, more strategic engagement with the Gulf states. Trump's decision to prioritize the Gulf states, particularly Saudi Arabia, over Israel, was widely seen as a reflection of shifting global dynamics. With their vast oil reserves and growing economic clout, the Gulf states have become increasingly influential players on the world stage. Under the Trump administration, the United States seemed to be shifting away from its traditionally close ties with Israel, adopting a more transactional approach. Driven by economic interests and strategic priorities, this approach reflected a pragmatic recalibration of international relations, one driven by economic interests and strategic imperatives in an increasingly dynamic global landscape. The focus shifted to securing lucrative economic deals, strengthening military cooperation, and countering the growing influence of rival powers in the region. This shift in focus was hardly unexpected. Trump's America First agenda had consistently prioritized economic gains and strategic advantages over maintaining traditional alliances. Throughout his political career, Trump has consistently championed an America First agenda, placing American economic interests at the forefront. This stance not only resonated with his base but also shaped his key foreign policy decisions. His decision to court the wealthy Gulf states, with their vast oil reserves and significant financial clout, perfectly aligned with this worldview. The Gulf states presented lucrative opportunities for investment and trade, making them key partners for the Trump administration. The Middle East, once primarily defined by the Arab-Israeli conflict, is now increasingly viewed as a battleground for influence between the United States and its rivals, especially China. The region's strategic importance has surged, along with the competition for its resources and alliances. In this new geopolitical landscape, the Gulf states, with their strategic location and economic power, have become indispensable partners for Washington. Their dominance in the global energy market and their strategic alliances position them as key players in the region's future. Dollars and diplomacy. The $600 billion handshake. This landmark agreement between the United States and Saudi Arabia was far more than a mere financial exchange. It represented a complex web of political maneuvering, strategic interests, and economic ambitions. The handshake marked the dawn of a new era of cooperation and mutual benefit, but it also sparked significant questions and concerns about the future of international relations and regional stability. Trump's visit to Saudi Arabia was more than a diplomatic gesture. It was a business venture. The American president, renowned for his deal-making acumen, saw an opportunity to secure a major financial commitment from one of the world's wealthiest nations. Every detail of the visit was carefully orchestrated, with both sides eager to demonstrate their readiness to collaborate across a range of sectors, from defense and energy to technology. Eager to solidify their ties with the unpredictable American leader, the Saudis rolled out the red carpet and opened their coffers. They understood that to win favor with the Trump administration, a grand gesture was essential. This lavish reception wasn't just about hospitality. It was a calculated move to signal their commitment to a strong, mutually beneficial bilateral relationship. The result was a staggering $600 billion investment pledge from Riyadh, a financial windfall that Trump hailed as a triumph for American jobs and a testament to his deal-making prowess. This massive commitment was expected to generate thousands of jobs in the United States, particularly in the manufacturing and defense sectors, offering a significant boost to the American economy. At the core of this monumental deal was a $142 billion arms agreement, the largest in U.S. history. The deal included a broad range of advanced weaponry, from fighter jets to missile defense systems, aimed at strengthening Saudi Arabia's military capabilities. It was hailed as a major win for the American defense industry, poised to reap substantial benefits from the surge in orders. This massive sale, which included advanced weaponry such as F-35 fighter jets, sparked mixed reactions. While some lauded the deal for its potential to boost the U.S. economy and enhance national security, others raised concerns about the consequences of transferring such sophisticated arms to a volatile region. The debate over the deal underscored the challenge of balancing economic interests with ethical considerations. Supporters hailed the deal as a boon for the American defense industry and a crucial step in countering Iran's influence in the region. They argued that a stronger Saudi military would act as a counterbalance to Iran's rising power, helping to maintain stability in the Middle East. Viewed as a strategic move, the deal was designed to reinforce alliances and deter emerging threats. Critics, however, raised concerns about fueling an arms race in an already unstable region and the risk of these weapons being used in the Saudi-led war in Yemen, a humanitarian catastrophe that has claimed thousands of civilian lives. They cautioned that the influx of advanced weaponry could intensify existing conflicts and further destabilize the region. The ethical implications of profiting from arms sales in such a context sparked heated debate. The sheer scale of the Saudi investment, combined with the inclusion of highly advanced military hardware, raised alarms in Washington and beyond. Lawmakers and analysts alike questioned the long-term implications of transferring such sophisticated military technology and the potential risks involved. The deal ignited a wider debate about the United States' role in global arms sales and its impact on international security. Some analysts viewed it as a desperate bid by the Saudis to buy influence with the Trump administration, a transactional relationship with potentially far-reaching consequences for regional stability. They argued that the deal was driven more by political leverage than genuine partnership, warning that it could upset the fragile balance of power in the Middle East. Others saw it as a shrewd move by the Saudis to leverage Trump's America First instincts and secure their own strategic interests in an increasingly uncertain world. By aligning closely with the United States, the Saudis sought to safeguard their economic and geopolitical position, ensuring their continued influence on the global stage. The $600 billion deal was more than a financial transaction. It was a symbolic statement, marking a clear shift in the balance of power in the Middle East. The agreement highlighted the evolving dynamics of international relations, as new alliances emerged and old ones were redefined. It stood as a testament to the changing nature of global politics and the strategic calculations shaping them. Flush with oil wealth and empowered by Trump's overt support, the Saudis were stepping onto the world stage with newfound confidence, no longer willing to play second fiddle to the United States or any other power. This bold assertiveness signaled Saudi Arabia's intent to shape its own destiny and take a leading role in the future of the Middle East and the wider global arena. A friend in need? Israel's growing unease. As the Trump administration celebrated its windfall in the Gulf, a long-standing ally looked on with increasing concern. The changing dynamics in the Middle East signaled more than just a diplomatic realignment. They marked a fundamental shift in the balance of power that had long underpinned regional stability. For decades, Israel had been Washington's undisputed favorite. But as Trump pivoted toward the Arab world, it found itself increasingly sidelined. This shift wasn't just symbolic, it brought concrete changes in policy and military alliances, leaving Israel feeling more isolated than ever before. The massive arms deal with Saudi Arabia, especially the potential sale of F-35 fighter jets, hit a nerve in Jerusalem, sparking fears over the erosion of Israel's qualitative military edge. This edge has long been a cornerstone of Israel's defense strategy, ensuring its ability to deter and respond swiftly to regional threats. Israel's unease was compounded by its own precarious financial situation. The global economic downturn had deepened the country's economic challenges, making it increasingly difficult to sustain its military and technological edge without significant external support. Unlike the oil-rich Gulf states, Israel depends heavily on U.S. military aid, a lifeline that has grown increasingly uncertain under the Trump administration. This support goes beyond funding. It includes advanced military technology and critical intelligence sharing, both essential to Israel's national security. With the current aid package set to expire in 2028, Israel now faces the challenge of renegotiating its support at a time when its political capital in Washington appears to be diminishing. The uncertainty surrounding this process adds yet another layer of complexity to Israel's strategic calculations. Adding insult to injury, Trump's Middle East peace plan, billed as the deal of the century, was met with skepticism and outright rejection from both Israelis and Palestinians. Rather than ushering in a new era of peace, the plan only underscored the deep-rooted divisions and enduring mistrust that continue to destabilize the region. The plan, widely perceived as heavily favoring Israel, has done little to advance the peace process, and may have even set it back by deepening existing divisions. The lack of progress has only fueled frustration and disillusionment among those who had hoped for a genuine resolution to the conflict. Israel, once accustomed to unwavering American support, now faces the uncomfortable reality that its relationship with Washington is no longer shielded from the ebb and flow of domestic politics or the shifting currents of global power. This new reality has compelled Israeli leaders to reassess their strategies and alliances in an increasingly volatile world. The Trump era has ushered in a period of uncertainty and anxiety for Israel, forcing it to reevaluate its long-held assumptions about its place in the world and its relationship with its most important ally. As Israel navigates this new landscape, it must find ways to adapt and secure its future in an increasingly unpredictable global environment. What do you think about these shifts in Israel's position? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more insightful content.